Let's crack the code on Google search part 2. So in my first video, I gave you a beginner's guide just to give you a general understanding of how Google search works. Beginners is self-explanatory. These are for business owners that really have a website, but realistically, they're looking to hire someone or they're looking to do it on their own and just trying to get a better understanding of how to get their website found on Google and start to make the website work better for you. So my name is Steve with the branding agency, mybrandingagency.com. If you like my content, like our videos, like the video, it definitely helps the channel. We're trying to make it grow. If you want to get notifications, subscribe, hit the bell. So let's just jump right in. I'm going to try and do a better job of really guiding you through and kind of a better representation where you can follow along. Yes, these images are extremely basic. Presentations isn't my strong point, but the main goal is to get this through to you of how basic way of how Google search works. So Google operates on a bot, which is called a crawler. Bots have no human interaction. It's what the coders, the engineers at Google have instructed this bot to do. And what the crawler or the bot is doing is it's constantly scouring the internet looking for new pages on the internet. There's trillions of new pages being added to the index every day. So new pages are super important to the crawler. So let's focus on that term, or focus on new pages. People are constantly updating their websites, whether it's from new service pages or whether it's from new content in the form of blog or news sections on their website. So that's really what the crawler is designed to do, is find that new page of yours or anyone else's. How does it do it? It does it from URL discovery, a new URL that's brought into the page. So that's pretty basic. Everyone knows what a URL is. When you put a new URL up there, that crawler is looking for that new URL. This is, again, just the magnifying glass, new pages constantly being submitted to Google for indexing. So how does the crawler find a new page? The new page, or the crawler finds a new page from a known page. More than likely, it's going to be a known page on your website. And this is where interlinking becomes really important. I can understand when I meet with a new business, and through the process of me working with the new business, I talk about interlinking, and I could just tell that the business owner doesn't understand the concept of interlinking and why it's so important. A lot of times they will ignore me when I talk about interlinking, because interlinking really isn't sexy. If I say backlinking, that will immediately put up the antenna on the business owner. But it's really hard for people to get backlinks. So the next best way to do that is through an interlink from one page, a known page, which is typically your home page. Your home page is going to be your most known page on your website, or your service page on your website. Here's a better really way to see it. So this is a news website. CNN, a big website like CNN, or a local news channel, or a blogger that has a news blog. So on your news page, on your website, you're going to have sections. You're going to have a sports section in your news, or sports news. You're going to have tech news in those. Each of those pages, you're constantly going to be adding new pages. New sports news is coming up every day. So the NFL draft just finished. We're into the NBA playoffs. when someone adds new content in the form of a blog on about the NBA playoffs or the NFL draft, these are where you're going to link those pages together. You're going to link the new news page about the NFL draft to your sports section or your sports page. The page in your sports section is going to be linked to your homepage. So I hope this gives you a better idea or representation of how this works. So let's get back into the crawler and understanding how the crawler works once you're really working with all the interlinks and the interlinking. So what's the crawler looking for? Once it finds your new page, here's a list of the most important things that crawler is going to do once it fetches your data. It's looking how quickly it interacts with your page. So when you hear the term page speed, this is where page speed comes into play. So you could see that Google puts this at the top of their list. You need to make sure that your page is interacting with Google fast. Okay, it's super important. You don't want that page to be lacking. You don't want it to take more than 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. That's a bad signal to Google. So obviously, you hear page speeds all the time. That's a super important factor. The next thing is quality content. What is quality content? Because that's a very general term. When you're writing about a particular subject, depending on how competitive that subject is, you don't want to put a bunch of gibberish on a page. If you put 50 words on a piece of on a page on your website, more than likely that's not quality content. But again, the more competitive that news topic or that topic is, the longer that content could be, and the more quality content you need to have. That's where it becomes super competitive, trying to come up and search for that particular page. So potential server errors is the next thing on the list that Google's going to look for when they find your new page, and that goes to hosting. So people always ask me, how important is hosting? It is important. It is super important. Hosting is going to really, speed the process up for your website. So that is a whole nother topic in itself, but this just gives you a good understanding of what that Google crawler is looking for once they fetched the website or the new page. So these are two big terms, fetching and rendering. Once the crawler has found that those pages, what is fetching and rendering? So this is what your page looks like. That URL. Again, it's just looking for new URLs. It's fetching that data, your HTML, your CSS, and your JavaScript. It's making sense of all that information on your new page. So again, hopefully this is making sense to you, because I understand it can get really, really confusing to new users. So let's get back into the process of interlinking and getting your new page found. So I talked to people and clients about a sitemap and really understanding the importance of a sitemap, because a sitemap isn't a necessity. You don't have to submit it to Google, but if you do, it's going to make the process of getting your new page found a lot more easily and a lot more rapidly for Google. And you could see what a sitemap is. It's basically an outline of all the pages on your website. And again, we're talking about how they're all linked together. If you cut the link somewhere in this phase, it's going to make it more difficult for Google to really work with your website. So I'm really pounding home the importance of internal links and links in general. They're super important. And every time a new page is updated, once you submit your page, your sitemap to Google, it's automatically going to do it for you. This is a bad image. It didn't really translate well as far as the rendering, but you're going to submit your sitemap into Google um, Search Console. And you can see on the left sidebar of your sitemap or of Google Search Console, you're going to see there's a sitemap setting. And talk to your developer how to get that sitemap submitted. And you could see this updates every day. Again, that's part of the electronic process of Google and the Googlebot of really making the process seamless and electronic. It's just a fluid process. So, look, I hope you found this information really important and informative. Again, interlinking is super important. Links in general is super important. Everybody knows the term backlink. And when I talk to people in SEO, they want a backlink. Well, backlinks are very difficult to get. So interlinking is the most important thing. If you're doing this on your own, interlinking is the easiest way for you to do it and the easiest way for Google to find your page. This information that I'm sharing with you is not information that I just randomly come up with. I study this information on Google from their blog, from their YouTube page. So I'm going to put that information in the link of this video, and you can access the same information. It's super informative. People look to influencers like myself to find this information, but you can go straight to the source, Google itself. If you made it this far through the video, thank you. I appreciate you getting all the way through. Again, my name is Steve with the branding agency, mybrandingagency.com. If you're looking for help, we can help you. Again, subscribe to the page if you find my content informative. I'm always trying to put up new videos weekly, daily, a few days apart. So when you do like and subscribe, you'll get that notification. Thanks again for your time, and I hope to see everyone soon.